When you hear the agency owners say they're losing control, what do they usually mean from your experience?
It can be a couple of things. Often,
Mm-hmm.
what happens is when you're growing a business, that there's typically sort of three called steps people go through, right? So when you start a company and you hire the first people from about 0 to 8, 9, 10, you can kind of have these people all report to you. And every time you hire someone, it's a little more work on your plate, but you also get more productivity. So it's typically a net plus.
Link building is one of those areas where founders stay stuck. Either way, you stop being the bottleneck in your own link building. Go to insert link and use promo code insert podcast 1 to get $50 added to your first deposit.
However, when you get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, one, it becomes overwhelming, and two, if you haven't yet got managers in there yet, uh, you're like spider in the middle. Everyone's reporting to you. All the stuff comes back and forth to you because in most cases you haven't learned how to manage yet. So you're kind of still approving everything. You're responsible for everything, and if you get sick for a month, your business often tanks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's the first step. Now, the second step is from that 8, 9, 10 people up until around 30. So that's typically when you start hiring a couple of other managers. That you have a layer in between you. You typically still know most of the people that work in the company, but you're managing through other people. And that's sort of the second step of business. And the third step typically comes around 50 to 60 people. And that is when you start managing through multiple layers of people. Because managing through multiple layers of people fundamentally mean that the message you say at the top is interpreted completely different at the bottom. Because it's a bit like the game of telephone, where you say something to someone and they say it to someone else.
Yeah.
And so those are typically the three steps where businesses struggle. And most companies struggle in all three steps if they don't have some solid sort of leadership background already or management background. Obviously, there are people who have that background starting companies, but for many, many businesses, it's a huge advantage having some support, both breaking through those different barriers, but fundamentally learning how to lead and manage effectively.
And I believe it's different concern in each stage that you grow into.
Yeah.
And when you notice like the founders or the owners of the agencies, what kind of complaints they have in each stage? Like what are their three complaints, let's say, for each stage?
For most founders in most stages, the most common complaints is they work too much and they work in the
Okay.
business, not on the business, right? There's this very common saying that, people don't want to work in the business, they want to work on the business. And that's correct. The problem most people have is they don't know how to change it. So they
Yeah.
think it's just a question of freeing up some time or something, but fundamentally it's a big mix of mindset and
Mm-hmm.
mindset processes and really how you effectively get the most out of your people and really how you help them take ownership. Because what happens in most businesses and the biggest challenge in many companies is lack of good delegation. And the
Mm-hmm.
biggest challenge is most people are delegating tasks. They're not delegating ownership and responsibility. And
That's
because of
so good
that,
said.
yeah,
Yeah.
because of that, when you're not delegating responsibility, if you're always the bottleneck everywhere, you're
Yeah.
always the bottleneck. And no matter how much you delegate, if you're always the bottleneck, you're slowing the company down, right? So when you're not delegating responsibility, you are forcefully holding back both the growth of your company, but more so the growth of your staff, right?
That's very well said. I also noticed that from my own experience, and also delegation is always like a very important skill. I believe whenever you are becoming already in a manager position, it's like something that you need to practically and from your experience kind of develop. So I fully agree with this. One thing I wanted to notice, because you are mentioning these stages with number of people, do you also notice if at what revenue stage usually as your agency owners most often start feeling this? Is it like 500Ks? Is it more than 1 million? Is it correlated in a way?
It's often not so tightly correlated to revenue because the challenge is often around the management of the staff more than anything. And the thing is, some people are running companies where they charge clients 1K a month retainer, and some people are running companies where they're charging 10 to 100K a month, right? So it's totally different businesses and so on. So it's generally not particularly closely related to the revenue or the company sort of financial size. It is way more connected to the number of people that they're trying to manage.
That totally makes sense.